get into it in just a few moments. Wrecking the show this morning, hitting the wrong buttons all over the place. That's all right. Good morning, January 5th, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We are about to get into the charts. What is going on? ETF FOMO price still getting bashed on, still in the same range we've been talking about for 5-6 weeks now. Let's go to the weekly just so we can from that sort of jazz. You know. Oh, we got why do we got lines coming up? Look at that. Still in the same old range. Jay told you we would play until they figured out what they wanted to do with this god dang ETF. More amendments, more changes. Will BlackRock and Grayscale get approved for the ETF? Will we see that moonshot to $50,000 of the 78.6% fib of the 2022 bear trend, which we've been climbing all year? Looking exactly like the S&P 500, which we also shared with you guys. But let's get right into this range and see exactly what the F is going on, Ski. Now, if I have this Wyckoff pattern still, see if we can. And I think it got messed up, honestly, because, like, just influence in the narrative kind of veers things off path. And to me, this pump to $45,900 there was a bit of retail, and some retail with some big money, right? And then when the markets open back up, schwippity pow, they put it right back where it should have been, in my opinion. My sometimes humble opinion. But anyway, that's all right. We're sipping coffee. Life is good. We DCA'd. It's Friday morning. The weekend is here. $43,354. So things are coming down, but not unexpectedly. If you've been relaxed and listening to the live streams with the tunes going, I gotta put together a new mix. You can't just have the same mix going over and over again. I mean, it's reasonable, but should probably switch it up. So here we are, fighting fibs, and you can see that strong support of this range has been the 38.2% fib of the move. So like when we broke the resistance here. We broke the resistance, okay? So we trade in a range until they disagree on price, and then it gets pushed to the next range or pushed down to another range if said price or said asset is feeling a little too expensive. So right now they've agreed that this was the range. So we had a breakout of the previous range to the high, pull the fib to the retracement low. Okay, it's established this range here, and you can see the 38.2% fib as the strong support. Now, I did think that the daily would see a solid close down here, like it has here on the 23.6. I was really hoping to see one down here somewhere. And that's what we were waiting for. We didn't quite get it. Even this wick didn't quite come down to where we wanted to put in a nice long position. I would have been comfortable with a long from there. Like a one that I would leave open for multiple days. I'm not talking scalpy. I'm not talking scalpy trades, because I do believe that we could go to the 78.6% fib here based on the fact that we've been following the S&P 500 all year. Again, I'm just going to repeat that. Repetition is how we remember things, I suppose. It's a good memory exercise, and we can practice that. Repetition. Okay, so what happened? We are basically right here, okay? So Bitcoin broke its 61.8% fib, dangling in there just like it is right now, just like this was. And then I had to push up. Let's go to the weekly on this thing. It looks a little better. Easier to see what's going on in the weekly. So we're right here, right? They had the breakout, the high, the retracement. They dangled a couple of weeks. They pushed over their 78.6%. Came down, confirmed that as resistance, pushed all the way down to the 50% fib before going to the previous all-time high. Go back over to Bitcoin and get rid of that fib for now. And you can see we broke our 61.8% fib. We're dangling here just like they did for a couple of weeks. They pushed up to their 78.6% fib before coming down, testing, confirming as resistance, and pushing all the way down to the 50% fib. So for us, that looks like 32.7. That'd be great to see. So the catalyst is going to be this ETF. And right now, I'm thinking we're probably 3 days away, like Monday, and then I guess Wednesday would be the deadline. So we're only a few days away. So this market's going to do whatever it does today. I'll be really watching what the S&P does to close. It hit a low back in the 4600s from 48, and now taking 47. Regain 4700. So that's what I'm going to be watching for today. Bitcoin coming to find a low. Maybe it'll push down a little bit lower. It's early in the morning, and the move seems to be downward right now. So if we push down here for the morning, maybe there's a long this afternoon on that 4-hour candle switch around noon PST. Maybe we'll scope around then to see what's going on for a trade. Haven't really been trading much because like I said, I feel like they've pumped the brakes on this thing right now, surrounding this ETF news. So that's what I'm waiting for right now, is to see what's really going on. I mean, I haven't really moved anything. I mean, we all know that Bitcoin's a safer place for our value, especially if you've been coming in since the bottom. I know we have one supporter in our audience that really listened. It's a family member. Yeah, it's nice to see a community start to build. We do have a bit of support, but so far I've heard one really good, solid story of somebody winning coming into Bitcoin, and that's kind of rare, right? So props to that person who came in at the beginning of this year, because you wouldn't be too worried about taking any profits if you got in around, or if you got in sub 20k. Sheesh. And you've been DCAing since, you're really in a good position. So, I mean, like I said, I'm not going too crazy right now because we DCA'd. So even if it goes to 50k, we're feeling good. But if it doesn't just slam through that and continue to go, and we do get that 20-30% retracement, you know what I mean? Easily coming back to test 39K after this pump. And that's, I'd be surprised if it doesn't fandangle and do a little bear trap underneath this orange line that we've had for some time. Let's make this one fat because that goes back to the 2017 high, right? So that's a major line, and I wouldn't be surprised about that testing as support. One chart I really like, paying attention to the monthly is a good one. So massive breakout there, right, for December, bing, and very likely to see a retest of that. So maybe it even, like I said, breaks just like the S&P did. Here you can see on their monthly chart, and they didn't confirm over top of the 78.6 that time. Spent another few months going down, and that makes sense for us, leading right into the halving, which is supposed to happen on April 11th or 13th or some schniznaddle, somewhere in that region of time. Yeah. So we're feeling good. We're looking good. We're still in this trend. We're still in this trendy trend for the year, or for the last 13 months. We're into a new year now. Happy New Year. 43.2, so still coming down. 43.1. Yo, yeah, a little dump ski there. So maybe we go down to, I don't even know if I have any funds in my trading wallet at the moment. Cold storage. Remember to hold your keys. This is a roller coaster, and it's easy to lose your keys on the roller coaster. That no, that is for real. We do talk about cold storage, but you should do a little research on cold storage devices or self-custodial wallets in the bull run, because you never know who the elites or the powers that be or the regulators are going to attack, who they're going to freeze up. It's happened in every bull run so far with certain companies and certain lenders and exchanges. So be very wary of that. You should be DCAing into BTC and cold storage devices or self-custodial wallets, and assuring that you are securing your value for the bull run and not getting hosed. You know what I mean? The rest is just for gamble. The rest is just a casino. That's really just it. If it ain't Bitcoin, it's a casino. Now, that being said, I listened to Charles Hoskinson in a space the other day, and I'm like super bullish on Cardano again. Not that I wasn't, because I do think he's innovating some really amazing things. He is absolutely brilliant. Listening to him was like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's hard to retain everything from somebody with like 150 or 160 IQ. You know what I mean? I don't know how. I mean, that guy's brilliant. But some of the things that he's doing, I had no idea about as far as privacy and technological advancements. He's even into like botany, and I don't know if it's necessarily botany, but I mean like genetics and mixing the two worlds of almost nature and AI and Web3 and stuff like that together. And he's like created bioluminescent or glow in the dark plants, and not just like a light glow. Like, I mean, it's neat. You should check some of this stuff out. It's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Let's go down to the 4 hour and get back in our range. See what's up. Yeah, I mean, this thing just continues to climb this line here. We're still above. So what we have is this triangle now. So let's see what happens if we pull out a triangle on this thing. Sweetie beat, sweetie do. Look at that. I mean, that doesn't really work for me. Showing out a big pennant like that. I don't like it when it does that. Yeah, it's back in here. I mean, I mean, this is on the 4 hour, so we could look at that as some sort of a pennant or a flag, but I'm not really sold on that triangle. What I see is more. Let's get the old Biggs Ross. What am I even doing here? Biggs Ross going. Old J Biggs Ross. So this is the triangle we are in now. And these are known to break to the upside, but they could fall to the south side just as easily. And then I would probably just be looking at the opposite and waiting to see if this breaks down. So, I mean, again, that just creates our range again. I mean, it's a rectangle. It's a fucking range. That's why I like the fib so much, man. Everyone's out here with their patterns. I try to get into that stuff sometimes, but, you know, there's tools that just do the things rather than everyone trying to Bob Ross the shit. Now, that being said, I do like my trends on the longer lines. When I zoom out, but it gets all jam-packed. It looks messy to you guys, you know? But anyway, still in that range. Still thinking that the ETF probably does get approved. You know, I was a little skeptical at first because it's been happening for like 10 years now. They've been applying for ETFs and haven't got approved. So good chance it got denied, and maybe it does get denied again. So maybe the pump happens. You know, either this afternoon this thing will pump back up here, or Monday, Tuesday, like before the ETF. And then if it gets denied, of course, it's going to dump back. But if it gets approved and then pumps, maybe it pumps first. Because if they take in cash, they have to buy the Bitcoin. So if somebody gives them $1 million, they have to buy $1 million worth of Bitcoin. They cannot use their Bitcoin reserve that they've already accumulated to do anything with the future spot ETF that's maybe being approved this week. But that doesn't mean that they can't sell it. So even if they take in a bunch of money from new clients and buy up a bunch of Bitcoin, they could still sell their other Bitcoin. It's not like they have a fucking deal that they can't do anything with that Bitcoin on the side. So that to me would be the catalyst. And why would they not want to put majority of that capital back in 30% lower? Come on now. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But anyway, thank you if you made it this far. My name is Jay, bringing it to you daily with the updates on Bitcoin and just some raw, real news of what I think without making things too complicated. Facts are found when you follow the money. Hang in there, and I will catch you in the next one.
Biggs and Boggs.